My beloved child, the love story being prepared for you will not merely change the lives of two people, it will also become a testimony that causes many hearts to reconsider what they once believed love to be. I am not speaking of a disturbance created by rumors, public display, or glamorous images before the world. I am speaking of the impact produced by a genuine bond, where two people do not seek one another merely to fill their emptiness with temporary emotion, but enter together into a journey filled with meaning, responsibility, and growth. I have been quietly cultivating this for a very long time, even during the days when all you could see was emptiness and you believed nothing was moving. You once thought you had been left behind in a world where others seemed to find companionship easily, while you moved from one disappointment to another. But I want you to know that not one of your tears fell without meaning. Not one decision to walk away from something shallow was a mistake, and not one season of solitude was wasted. All of it was teaching you to recognize genuine love when it arrives, so that you will no longer confuse attention with devotion, sweet words with commitment, or temporary excitement with something capable of enduring through time. I saw the times when you quietly wondered whether profound love truly existed, or whether it was only a distant dream. You opened your heart and offered sincerity, only to receive uncertainty that caused you to question your own worth. Some people entered your life long enough to awaken hope, but were not mature enough to build with you. Certain doors closed while you still had many things left to say, causing you to believe that you had lost something that could never be found again. Yet what leaves you is not always the best thing meant for you. Sometimes it is merely something familiar that you attempted to hold because you were afraid to begin again. I allowed certain separations to occur not to punish you, but to lead you out of places where you were required to continually diminish yourself in order to be accepted. I do not want you living in a relationship where you must guess each day whether you are loved. Nor do I want you calling anxiety, passion, or inconsistency a trial you are obligated to endure. The love I am preparing will not require you to surrender peace in exchange for a few brief moments of happiness. It will teach you that tenderness and strength can exist together, that two people can love deeply without controlling each other, and that genuine closeness does not require one person to disappear so the other can shine. While you were waiting, the person who will walk beside you was also being led through lessons of their own. You could not see the times when they had to confront themselves, the old limitations they were required to remove, or the relationships that helped them recognize what no longer belonged in their future. They also knew what it meant to remain beside someone and still feel alone, to hear promises that were not kept, and to conceal vulnerability behind a calm appearance. Therefore, when the two of you meet, what enables you to recognize one another will be more than initial attraction. It will also be the understanding born from wounds that have been healed, the patience formed during seasons when no one stood beside you, and the desire to create something different from everything both of you previously experienced. You will not need to impress them in order to make them stay, and they will not need to wear a perfect image in order to earn your trust. Both of you will learn how to be present in truth, where imperfections are not used as weapons and fears are not mocked. What makes this story move others will not be the absence of difficulty. A love with a strong foundation is not a love exempt from storms, but one that knows how to stand together when storms arrive. The world has become accustomed to connections that burn brightly and quickly, only to grow cold when trials appear. Many people know how to make promises during joyful days, but do not know how to listen during exhausting ones. They are attracted to novelty, but do not possess the maturity required to nurture a bond when life returns to ordinary routines. Your story will be different because the two of you will not seek emotion alone. You will learn to build through truth, respect, and the willingness to repair what has been wounded. When disagreements occur, you will not attempt to defeat one another, but will learn how to protect what is good between you. When one person becomes vulnerable, the other will not exploit that weakness in order to gain control. When success comes, you will not compete to receive greater recognition, but will rejoice in one another's growth. Do not interpret this difference as a guarantee that everything will become perfect without effort. What I bring must still be cared for through daily choices. Love does not survive only through extraordinary moments. It is sustained through the way two people speak when they are tired, keep their word in small matters, and honor boundaries when no one is watching. A sacred connection does not remove your responsibility to mature. On the contrary, it calls you to live more honestly. Apologize when you are wrong. Forgive without nurturing bitterness, and place shared peace above personal pride. This person is not being sent to complete all your healing for you, and you are not being assigned the task of rescuing them from every difficulty. You will support each other, but each person must remain responsible for their own life. Only when both know how to stand securely can companionship become a place that strengthens rather than creates dependence. I also want you to release the fear that you missed your time. You may have looked at your age, past decisions, or the years that have passed and wondered whether everything good was arriving too late. But what is meant for you cannot be stolen merely because you had to wait longer than others. Some gifts arrive early so that people may learn maturity while carrying them, while other gifts appear only after the recipient has become steady enough not to break what is precious. Had this meeting taken place too soon, perhaps neither of you would have known how to protect the other. Had you met this person while you were still willing to surrender your dignity to avoid abandonment, you might have turned love into a place where you sought constant validation. Had they met you while they were still running from responsibility, they might have wounded something they were not yet capable of understanding or valuing. Therefore, delay was not evidence that you had been forgotten. Often, it was protection for a future that needed to be built upon the right foundation. When this connection begins to appear, enter it with an open heart. But do not rush. Do not only listen to what this person says about the future. Observe how they are present in the present. Do not allow powerful emotion to make you overlook signs that must be examined clearly. Love that comes from me is not afraid of sincere questions, does not require you to remain silent about what disturbs you, and does not punish you merely because you desire respect. The right person will not treat your discernment as an obstacle. They will understand that trust cannot be demanded, but must be built through consistency. They will not erase every former memory in a single night, but will patiently walk beside you as you learn to reopen doors that were once wounded. Give sincerity the opportunity to grow, but do not hand absolute power to another person merely because you fear losing what you have waited so long to receive. Others will eventually notice something different in the way the two of you walk together. They may not understand everything that occurred behind the scenes, but they will see peace replacing confusion, encouragement replacing competition, and faithfulness replacing games that once exhausted you. They will see that you no longer live in constant fear of being abandoned, while this person no longer needs outside attention in order to feel valuable. Together, you will demonstrate that love is not a place of confinement, but a space where each person is free to mature in what is good. This connection will not need to make constant declarations in order to prove its strength, because the way both of you treat one another will speak for itself. When achievement comes, you will share the joy. When failure comes, you will not turn away. When the world applies pressure, you will not permit outside voices to determine the way you see one another. My beloved child, what makes this story powerful is not that the world will know your name, but that those who lost faith may see hope through the way you love and are loved. Someone who believed love only brings pain will recognize that companionship capable of healing still exists. Someone accustomed to shallow connections may begin to long for depth. Someone who believed disrespect had to be endured in order to preserve a relationship will see that tenderness does not eliminate boundaries and forgiveness does not mean tolerating wrongdoing. Your story does not need to be perfect in order to carry light. It only needs to remain genuine, humble, and willing to be corrected. The way the two of you move through difficult seasons together will become a stronger testimony than any declaration. Therefore, stop doubting that you have been forgotten. Former doors closed because they could not lead you to the place I am preparing. The empty spaces that once caused pain are becoming room for what is right to enter. Continue healing. Continue cultivating wisdom. And keep your heart free from bitterness. Do not allow your longing for love to steal the joy of the present, because you do not need to wait for another person to appear before you begin living fully. When you learn to value the journey you already possess, you will enter love from abundance rather than lack, and from gratitude rather than fear. What is coming will not require you to become someone else. It will meet you in truth and open a new chapter with you, where two people do not pull each other downward, but rise together in peace, kindness, and good purpose. Trust the process, but do not become obsessed with the timing. When it comes at the right moment, you will understand that every period of waiting, every door you had to leave, and every lesson you endured was leading you toward a love deep enough to remain, gentle enough to heal, and bright enough to cause many people to believe that something genuine still exists. You have never been forgotten. You are being sheltered and strengthened for a transition greater than what your eyes can presently see. There were seasons when you felt pushed to the side, when your voice appeared unheard. Your efforts received no recognition, and the doors before you quietly closed. But I want you to understand that this silence was not evidence of abandonment. I saw every day when you endured pressure, yet still chose integrity. Every night when you were exhausted, yet refused to become bitter. And every time you were misunderstood, yet preserved tenderness. Not one tear you quietly wiped away was meaningless, and not one faithful step was overlooked. You were kept in a hidden place, not because you were unimportant, but because what is about to be entrusted to you requires someone who has learned how to stand when there is no applause. I know you have wondered why the weight of recent days seems greater than before. Things that once brought pleasure no longer possess enough power to hold your attention. Shallow conversations are beginning to exhaust you. Familiar places are becoming narrow, and you no longer desire to spend time on things that do not move you closer to purpose. This is not because you are losing joy or becoming difficult to approach. I am changing your inner appetite so that you will no longer be satisfied with temporary comfort when a mission requiring alertness is ahead. The discomfort you feel is evidence that the old garment no longer fits the person you are becoming. Do not attempt to diminish yourself again, merely to continue belonging in places you have been called to leave. Many people interpret a change of position as punishment. But my beloved, not every redirection means that you have done something wrong. At Teams, I close a job, end a relationship, change an environment, or increase responsibility because you have completed the lesson of the former place. I do not entrust greater responsibility to someone who has never demonstrated faithfulness in hidden things. The way you behaved when no one was watching, kept your word in small matters, and continued serving without recognition revealed that you could be trusted with more. Therefore, this repositioning is not a demotion. It is evidence of trust. I am telling you that the former season has fulfilled its role and that the time has come for you to be prepared for a sphere of broader influence. However, greater authority always requires a stronger foundation. A tree that rises high must possess roots deep enough to remain in the soil when strong winds come. In the same way, I cannot allow you to enter a place where many people will see you while you are still easily shaken within by praise, criticism, or temporary emotion. Before expanding your influence, I must teach you how to govern yourself. Before giving you additional opportunities, I must help you distinguish what should be retained from what must be released. The new disciplines you feel urged to establish are not a prison, but a protective fence around something precious. I am teaching you to rest at the proper time, speak thoughtfully, preserve focus, and refuse to allow every demand access to your time. Do not confuse the inward prompting with confusion. Confusion causes you to run in many directions without knowing where you should go, while what I am placing within you creates a desire for greater order. It causes you to recognize that time is precious. Unhealthy habits must change, and relationships that continually drain you must be reconsidered. This urgency is not telling you to act impulsively. It is inviting you to become intentional. You do not need to accomplish everything in one day, but neither can you continue postponing what you already know must be done. Begin with small things. Complete the work you abandoned. Bring order to your living space. Correct a promise you failed to keep. And create quiet hours in which to listen for guidance. Every orderly action will become a stone placed in the foundation of the new season. You will also notice that you can no longer tolerate distraction as you once did. Noises that easily pulled you away now feel heavy because you are beginning to recognize the cost of being scattered. Not every invitation is an opportunity. Not every argument requires your involvement. And not everyone who approaches you should be permitted into the deepest places of your life. Some people loved the former version of you because that version was always willing to comply, feared saying no, and often sacrificed peace so others could remain comfortable. When you begin protecting your time, they may say that you have changed. Do not become angry with them, but neither should you return to your former way of living in order to be accepted. Remain kind, yet steadfast, because appropriate boundaries are not coldness. They are the means by which you protect the seed I am planting in this season. I am not punishing you for the roads you traveled. I am using every experience to align you with what comes next. Even your mistakes taught you what success could not teach: humility, reflection, and compassion for those who stumble. Closed doors helped you understand the value of preparation, while rejection caused you to stop building your identity upon human approval. Now, you can move forward without requiring everyone to understand, because you have learned that clarity does not always come from outside. Sometimes you only need to know that the next step is right, even though the entire road remains unseen. I will not always give you a complete map, but I will provide enough light for the step directly before you. During this stage, do not quickly announce everything you sense. Some seeds must remain in dark soil before they can rise into the light. If you pull them up too early, merely to prove that something new has been entrusted to you, you may damage what is still taking shape. Allow the result to speak instead of giving lengthy explanations. You do not need to convince others that you are being prepared. The maturity within the way you live will reveal it. People will notice that you are calmer under pressure, deeper in your speech, and clearer in your choices. They will see that you no longer react to every provocation or exchange peace for attention. These quiet transformations are evidence that your inner structure is being strengthened. When new responsibility appears, you may feel unqualified. Do not permit that feeling to make you turn away. I do not wait until you are perfect before using you. I seek someone who is teachable, willing to listen, and prepared to change. You will learn as you move, mature while serving, and receive greater strength as you faithfully use what has already been given. Do not compare your beginning with another person's many years of results. Each person has a different process, and I know precisely what weight you can carry in every season. If you are entrusted with only one small step today, perform it with complete faithfulness. Large doors are often opened through very small keys, arriving on time, keeping your word, working diligently, and continuing even after powerful emotion has faded. Therefore, my beloved child, lift your head and stop calling this season of preparation abandonment. You have not been set aside, you are being made steady. You have not been delayed without purpose. You are being aligned so that when the proper time comes, what you receive will not overwhelm you. Pressure has not come to crush you, but to reveal the places that need reinforcement. Change has not come to take away your identity, but to release you from roles that have become too small. Preserve your focus, care for your inner life, and courageously leave whatever continually draws you away from clarity. I am leading you from merely enduring into becoming able to support others. From faithfulness in hidden places into responsibility that will influence many. When the new door opens, you will understand why I protected you so carefully. And you will realize that every day that seemed forgotten was quietly building within you the strength required to carry what is about to be entrusted. You have been prepared through painful months to recognize what genuine love is and what is merely beautiful emotion without the strength to remain. I know there were events you wished had never occurred and wounds you carried so long that you believed they brought only loss. But not one of your tears was wasted beneath my gaze. The times you were disappointed taught you to distinguish sweet words from a consistent heart. The periods of waiting cultivated enough calm within you that you will no longer hastily offer your heart to something that has not been mastered. The seasons when you were forced to stand alone taught you that the right love does not come to rescue you from emptiness, but to accompany someone who already understands their own worth. When you look back, you may see only difficult roads, but I see a heart becoming deeper, wiser, and mature enough to receive something unlike the things that previously wounded you. Certain lessons can only be understood after you have passed through them. While you were waiting, you thought I was delaying your joy. But in truth, I was preventing you from stopping before doors that looked beautiful only from the outside. When someone left, you believed you had lost your future. Yet often, that departure saved you from spending years attempting to repair something that never possessed a strong foundation. When you were not chosen, you questioned your value. But that rejection taught you that you did not need to diminish yourself in order to fit another person's limited capacity to love. I used every experience to cleanse your vision so that temporary attention would no longer carry you away. Instability would no longer be called passion, and continual suffering would no longer be viewed as proof of loyalty. Now you are drawing nearer to what I have quietly been building. Although the outside may still show few clear signs, what is coming is not a reward for a perfect person, nor is it a story free from differences or conflict. It will be a connection filled with purpose, where both people are invited to mature in listening, speaking truth, keeping their word, and confronting the places within that remain unhealed. There will be moments when you must choose gentleness instead of reaction, conversation instead of punishing silence, and forgiveness instead of preserving an offense as a weapon. This person will also need to learn how to understand fears you cannot easily name. Respect your boundaries and remain after the initial novelty gives way to responsibility. Purposeful love does not remove all difficulty. It turns difficulty into a place where two people learn to build rather than destroy. What makes this connection different is not that it will never be tested, but that testing will not possess the authority to destroy it if both of you continue walking in sincerity. The winds that caused former relationships to fall will become opportunities for the strength of this foundation to be revealed. When misunderstanding appears, the two of you will learn to search for truth instead of fighting for victory. When outside pressure increases, you will not turn against each other, but gradually learn to stand on the same side against the problem. When one becomes vulnerable, the other will not use that weakness to control, but will protect it with respect. These quiet choices will make the love strong, because the strength of a relationship is not found in great declarations, but in the way two people treat one another when no one is watching. I know you still carry cautious voices formed by your past. They tell you not to hope too much, not to open your heart too deeply, and not to believe that something good can truly remain. Whenever joy begins to appear, you may immediately search for evidence that it is about to disappear. Whenever someone treats you well, part of you wonders when they will change. I do not blame you for these reactions, because they once helped protect you after you were wounded. But, my beloved, what helped you survive the former season may become a wall, preventing you from receiving the new one. Wisdom is not the same as always expecting the worst. And vigilance does not mean distrusting every heart that approaches. You have not been called to repeat the former story beneath a different face. I am teaching you to recognize different signs, consistency instead of repeated appearances and disappearances, clarity instead of words that leave you guessing, responsibility instead of apologies that never produce change, and respect instead of using love as an excuse to violate boundaries. This time, you will not be the only person attempting to keep everything alive. You will not continually need to persuade someone to recognize your value or beg for basic attention. The right person will not treat your need for safety as a burden. They will understand that trust requires time and will willingly demonstrate sincerity through action. My presence within the connection does not mean everything will automatically become easy. It means both of you will be guided to choose what is right, even when temporary emotion attempts to pull you in different directions. When this love arrives, it will not require you to lose peace in order to keep it. You will not feel as though you are running through a maze, constantly analyzing every message, silence, or small change in the other person's attitude. There will be questions that need answers and seasons that require time. But deep within you will sense a stability completely different from before. You may still feel nervous because you are entering something new, but it will not be the kind of anxiety that causes you to question your value. This person's presence will not force you to appear strong at every moment. You will be permitted to be honest. Admit that you do not understand, and slow down when necessary. Something natural does not mean it requires no effort. It means the effort will not cause you to feel that you are betraying yourself. Peace will become one of the clearest signs. It will not be an intense excitement that quickly disappears, but a stillness that helps you breathe more deeply, think with greater clarity, and leave behind the constant state of self-protection. In former connections, you mistook instability for depth because emotional highs and lows caused you to believe love had to resemble a storm. But what I design with care does not need confusion in order to prove that it is real. Mature love can be profound while remaining gentle, strong without becoming harsh, and transformative without causing you to lose your identity. It does not pull you away from purpose, but creates a safe place in which both people can develop what is good. Even so, remember that peace does not replace discernment. Do not immediately assign great meaning to anyone merely because they make you feel comfortable for a few moments. Observe how they face truth. Treat those who cannot benefit them. Respond when they are refused, and keep their word in small matters. What comes from me is not afraid of being tested by time. It will not pressure you to make commitments before understanding has developed, nor will it use guilt to make you overlook what needs to be addressed. Genuine love is patient enough to be built one step at a time and humble enough to listen when change is required.